Welcome to World Prism. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. For decades, Boeing and Airbus have ruled the skies, dominating the global aviation industry with their advanced technology and vast fleets. Their single-aisle jets, like the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320, have become the backbone of air travel, carrying billions of passengers to destinations around the world every year. Now China is stepping onto the global stage to challenge this long-standing duopoly, with the C919, a jet developed by state-owned Comac, designed to compete head-to-head with its Western rivals. The C919 is more than just another aircraft. It's a bold symbol of China's ambition to become a high-tech powerhouse, and a testament to its drive for self-sufficiency in critical industries like aerospace. As the centerpiece of the ambitious Made in China 2025 strategy, the C919 aims to secure a major share of the world's largest and fastest-growing domestic aviation market, while also signaling China's intent to compete globally. But beneath its sleek Chinese exterior lies a significant vulnerability. The C919 relies entirely on the LEAP-1C engine, a sophisticated power plant made by a US-French joint venture, CFM International. This dependence on Western technology exposes China to serious geopolitical risks, as recent trade tensions and export controls have made abundantly clear. For China, developing its own high-bypass turbofan engine is now seen as a national security imperative, the final and most challenging hurdle to achieving true aerospace autonomy and independence. Until that day arrives, the fate of the C919 and China's aviation ambitions remains tied not just to Shanghai, but to decisions made in Washington and Paris, far beyond China's borders. In 2025, the US and France abruptly halted all LEAP-1C engine deliveries to Comac, sending shockwaves through the global aviation industry and catching many by surprise. The move instantly froze C919 production, leaving assembly lines eerily silent and exposing just how dependent China was on Western technology for its flagship jet. The 6-week ban, though temporary, served as a dramatic wake-up call for Beijing, reminding leaders that their most ambitious aviation project could be grounded by foreign governments at any moment, regardless of progress or investment. Overnight, the quest for a homegrown jet engine shifted from a distant aspiration to an urgent national mission, with engineers and scientists now racing against time to close the technology gap. In response, China quickly pivoted toward Europe, hinting at a massive Airbus order to reward EU pragmatism and punish Boeing, signaling a new era of strategic maneuvering in global aviation. Yet, the lesson was unmistakable. Reliance on any foreign supplier, whether American or European, now carried unacceptable risks for China's ambitions. The engine squeeze marked a pivotal turning point, transforming technological independence from a long-term goal into a matter of national sovereignty and pride. The CJ1000A engine project became a high-stakes race against time, now seen as absolutely critical to securing China's aviation future and ensuring the country's jets could keep flying, no matter the geopolitical climate. The brief disruption didn't derail the C919, but it fundamentally changed Beijing's strategic calculus, forcing a reassessment of every foreign partnership and supply chain. China's leaders realized their wings could be clipped at any moment, unless they built their own engines, with their own hands, and on their own terms. Facing Western restrictions, China turned to Russia, a fellow outcast with deep aerospace expertise. Russia, forced to re-engineer its own jets after sanctions, shares China's drive for self-reliance. Together, they form a partnership of necessity. China brings resources and market size. Russia brings decades of engine know-how. By pooling strengths, they aim to break the Western engine monopoly and accelerate development of next-generation propulsion systems. Their collaboration could yield a credible, non-Western jet engine sooner than expected, challenging the global status quo. For the West, this alliance is more than commercial, it's a strategic threat to decades of technological dominance. A new axis in aerospace is emerging, one that could reshape the industry for years to come. Building a modern jet engine is one of the world's toughest engineering feats. Only a handful of companies have ever succeeded. The barriers are immense: billions in R&D, decades of accumulated expertise, and a grueling certification process. Newcomers like China and Russia must catch up to 50 years of Western innovation, from advanced metallurgy to complex fluid dynamics. Certification demands thousands of hours of extreme testing, meeting the highest safety standards set by global regulators. Even the design tools, sophisticated Western software, can be restricted by export controls, forcing rivals to develop their own. These obstacles explain why the engine market remains an exclusive club. Breaking in requires not just money but time, talent, and technological breakthroughs. For China and Russia, the challenge is monumental, but the stakes have never been higher. For the EU, a deepening Russia-China aerospace alliance is nothing short of a strategic nightmare. The growing partnership between Moscow and Beijing in high-tech aviation is raising alarm bells across European capitals, as it threatens to reshape the global balance of power in the skies. While Airbus may see some short-term gains from increased demand, the emergence of a self-sufficient COMAC, backed by Russian technology, poses a serious threat to Europe's long-term technological edge and industrial leadership in aviation. The engine sector, anchored by European giants like Safran and Rolls-Royce, has long been a crown jewel of the continent's industry. But now, a new state-backed rival, fueled by combined Russian and Chinese expertise, could upend the global order and challenge Europe's dominance. A successful Sino-Russian engine would create a parallel aviation market, one that is immune to Western sanctions, regulations, and even safety standards. This would allow China and Russia to operate independently from Western influence. This new reality forces Europe into a difficult position, caught between its traditional alliance with the US and its lucrative economic ties with China. The result is a steady erosion of Europe's strategic autonomy and freedom to maneuver. The collaboration signals a determined move to build a self-reliant ecosystem, one that could eventually bypass Western technology altogether, challenging the very foundations of globalization and open markets. Europe's prosperity has long depended on exporting advanced technology and maintaining its lead in innovation. Losing this edge would represent a seismic shift, not just for the economy, but for Europe's global influence. The rise of a credible competitor threatens not just market share, but Europe's status as a global leader in aerospace, innovation, and high-value manufacturing. That's the real source of anxiety in Brussels, the fear that Europe could lose its place at the top of the global aviation industry. A Sino-Russian aerospace alliance could transform global air travel, especially in fast-growing regions. For decades, airlines in Asia, Africa, and Latin America had little choice but Boeing or Airbus. A competitive C919, bundled with Chinese or Russian engines and state-backed financing, could be a game-changer for emerging markets. Cheaper jets would let new airlines expand rapidly, redrawing the aviation map and shifting power away from Europe and North America. Challenges remain: reliability, maintenance, and certification hurdles could limit adoption outside China-friendly markets. Still, the trend is clear. The center of aviation gravity is shifting east and south. A non-Western aircraft ecosystem would give rising nations more control and more choices. The skies of the future may be more diverse, reflecting a multipolar world. The aviation shocks of 2025 mark the start of a new era, one defined by geopolitical rivalry and technological competition. The Boeing-Airbus duopoly faces its greatest challenge as Russia and China join forces to break Western dominance. A C919 powered by a Sino-Russian engine could create a parallel aerospace ecosystem, insulated from Western pressure. This would split the world, one sphere flying Western jets, another flying Chinese and Russian aircraft, each with its own rules. Fragmentation brings risks, complicated standards, training, and safety, but also opportunity, more competition, lower prices, and faster innovation. The West can no longer take its leadership for granted. The game has changed. The C919 and its new alliance are redrawing the map of industrial power. The era of a comfortable duopoly is over. Global aviation is entering uncharted, turbulent skies.